Hello, everyone. I've missed you all. Hope everyone is staying safe. Okay, so for today's lesson, we are going to talk about Zentangles, and this is going to take a couple of days to create, and we're going to start with the basics. So before I get started, I looked up a few definitions and looked into a little bit of the history and the purpose of a Zentangle. So here's what I found. When I Googled it, I found the definition of a Zentangle, and I wrote it down right here. So I'll read it to you. A Zentangle is an easy-to-learn method of creating beautiful images from repetitive patterns. It is a fascinating new art form that is fun and relaxing. It increases focus and creativity. Zentangle provides artistic satisfaction and an increased sense of personal well-being. So it's supposed to increase our focus. It's relaxing. It makes us feel like we've done something really great. So it gives us a personal satisfaction. So it's kind of, in my definition, it's an artistic way to meditate, which we all need right now with all of this stress going on. Okay, so I also did some research and I looked up that it was formulated by Rick Roberts, and he was a former monk, and Maria Thomas was a very well-known calligrapher and illuminist. Okay, and I'm going to talk about them while we get started. So I want to go back to the basics. Okay, so Zentangles are lots of patterns. Okay, I put these handouts in the link. Okay, these are some ones you might have noticed from my classroom. We use these quite often. But I want to take this all the way back to basic line and shape, okay? So when you think of a basic line and shape, let's get a piece of paper ready. And let's start thinking of some basic line and some basic shape, okay? So in your head, start thinking of some basic line and basic shape. Okay, so what comes to my head when I'm thinking about these things, I'm thinking of a straight line, I'm thinking of dotted line, I'm thinking of wavy line, curly line, zigzag line, maybe swirls, okay, maybe other different type of zigzags. Okay, so those are just the basic lines in our little artist toolbox. Okay, so think about these and hang on to these. Okay, let's move down to some shapes. So, pretty much everyone knows all of the different shapes, the basic shapes. So let's just write them down so we know that these are there for us to look back on. So I'm going to think of circles, triangles, square, rectangle. We'll draw a rectangle going this way. We'll draw a diamond. We'll draw an octagon. That one's the one that has 8 sides. Hexagon, pretty sure 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have, let's even draw a heart and a star. Okay, those are pretty basic shapes. Oh, and we forgot oval. Okay, so we've got our basic shapes, basic lines. Now with these things, we're going to be using these to create our Zentangles. Okay, so let's get started with another piece of paper. You might want to get your materials ready. I've ran around my house and I found several Sharpies. You don't have to use a Sharpie. You can use pencils or pens or markers, whatever you can find laying around. When you watch Zentangle videos, a lot of the time artists use these really thin Sharpies. Okay, but you can use anything for this activity. And I know the parents will thank me because this does not involve a lot of mess. So don't worry, parents. I was thinking about you too when I was making this. All right. So here we go. Fresh new piece of paper. So you'll see Zentangle artists, they kind of sketch out these boxes and they will do a different Zentangle in each box. If you'd like to do it this way, that's fine. I've also seen people make a grid where they draw lines down. You can even use a ruler for this, but this is our practice paper, so I'm just not going to spend too much time on it. Okay, so if you were using a ruler, you would do it this way. I know some of my students haven't really had a lot of experience using a ruler. And then I'm going to come down and measure this one, hold it in place. Okay. But using a ruler is not necessary, only if you really want your lines to turn out perfectly straight. I'm just going to finish up freehand. Now this should keep me busy for at least an hour. I'm going to try to think of a repetitive line or shape design to go in each of these boxes. Now, I'm thinking this is going to be very difficult for some of my younger students tuning into this video, like kindergarten, first grade, second grade level. So I thought of another easy way to make a graphic organizer. Okay, so this we just have to fold up and the lines are there for us. So let's get another fresh sheet of paper. All right, and we're going to start by folding this in half. Okay, crease that edge. Fold it in half again. Fold this in half again. Fold this in half again. Okay, now I'm going to unfold it so I can see all of my little boxes. And now we are going to challenge ourselves to do a different line design in each one of these boxes. If you are a little bit nervous about this, you can do some research. It's not a bad idea to go on the internet and search in Google or Instagram of some ideas to help you get started. I even looked up the Zentangle hashtag, and there are 2.1 million posts of people doing Zentangles. So before you get into an art project, it is important to do some research, okay? But like I said, we're starting from the basics. So let's start with that first. Okay. So let's go back to our basics. A basic line and shape. So let's start with a straight line. Let's see how many designs we can make with some straight, just using a straight line. So first off, we have stripes. That's such a common design used. Okay, next let's just do little dashes of confetti. Confetti lines, little dashes going any direction. Kind of makes for an interesting design or pattern or background. Now let's take these little lines and draw them in a little bit of a more organized way. So I'm going to do 2 going vertical and then 2 going horizontal. And I'm going to continue this pattern. Okay, so there's some people there's 2 things. There's Zentangling and Zendoodling. So Zentangling is more purposeful and thought out. Okay, a Zendoodle is like what you would do on the side of your notebook, which you hopefully shouldn't be doing, but I was actually a big doodler back in the day when I was just, sitting in class, and it was just something that like I would do in my notebooks. I wasn't really thinking about it. Like I even brought an example of, here's a list I was making for Lowe's, and you can see that I've done some little designs along my notebook, just mindless designs. This is what people call a doodle, because I was just on the phone or writing notes down, not really thinking about this. It looks a little bit more messy. Okay, so that's what people call a Zendoodle. A Zentangle, from my research, is a more purposeful and thought out design, okay? Remember, while we're doing this, we're supposed to be, um, meditating and kind of feeling this sense of calmness as we're repeating these patterns. Okay, let's think of another one. I'm going to bend my straight line into a arrow shape. And let's just repeat this pattern. Now, like I said, you can copy my designs, and now let's do this shape going up. It looks like a V. And just like we said earlier, we're still just using straight lines. Nothing too complicated. Look how cool that looks. Very interesting design. Okay, now I'm going to, still we're doing straight lines, I'm going to cross my lines to make a plus sign. And next I'm going to cross my lines to make an X. And I'm going to repeat this pattern. So it's going to be plus sign, X, plus sign, X. And you know what? I think I am starting to feel a little bit calm. And I'm starting to feel some creative ideas pop into my head. Okay, so if you feel comfortable and you want to branch out on your own and say, Miss Hess, I got this, I think I can do my own designs, you can go ahead and do that now. But if you're still a little bit unsure, you can keep copying what I'm going to do. Okay, and also, like I said, these patterns and designs are on the handout. There's one called Contrast. There's one called Zentangles. And there's one called Patterns. These are the most basic. All right. Let's think. Okay, how about a line that is curved? So we'll make it look like a rainbow shape. All right, and then the next one, why don't we pick just a straight line? And we'll repeat this pattern. And then I'm alternating when I go to the next pattern. Or I'm sorry, when I go to the next row. Okay. For this one, I am going to just put a little wavy line in my box just to give it a little bit of detail. Okay, so now this time I'm going to do, I'll do straight lines this way. And this side I'm going to do straight lines going the other way. Let's see what that gives us. Pretty cool. Okay, this next one, it's going to be a little bit more complicated. So I'm going to do a line, and I'm going to keep filling in lines, but I'm going to make them look like they are overlapping and underlapping each other, okay? So this time I'm going to come down here. This is a popular Zentangle pattern. So it looks like two lines that are one's over the other, and I'm just going to keep doing that. Okay, so there's definitely a neatness quality that goes into this. Okay, I'm not just, rushing and making these lines look all sloppy. I'm going over them slowly. I've got to connect this here. Looks pretty tricky. All right, let's mix another pattern inside these empty spaces. Why don't we just do polka dots? And this design, I'm actually thinking is looking pretty cool. All right, now that we've started to mix some shape into our designs, let's keep thinking outside the box. There's just so many ideas popping into my head right now. It's like my hand's not moving as fast as my brain, which is a good thing. Okay. Next, for pattern idea, let's start incorporating a little bit of shape. So, easiest shape for me, circle. So I'm going to do a open circle and a closed circle. Open, closed, open, closed, open, closed. Pattern. Very easy. Now I want to challenge some of you to upload a picture that your parent might take on their phone, and you can post that into the Google Classroom. I would love to see some of your design creations, and I am giving extra points for the people who don't copy me. So these will be designs that you think of on your own, and I just realized I kind of just messed that one up because I repeated the same one. I just did open, close, open, close, open, close, and then on the second one I did open, closed again, but that's okay because this is our practice paper and it still looks cool from far away. Okay, next let's do some diamonds. I have a cool, interesting way to make a diamond with a line. If you do a line in half and you do lines going this way, and then you do lines going the other way, it's like a checkered board. Right there you have a diamond shape. If you wanted to make a standard checkered shape, you would just do the lines like we showed earlier when I made that one grid, going down, going across. Okay. I think we could make this swirl design into a design. So I'm going to just do a bunch of swirls. Let's see. Oh, I haven't used any zigzag yet. Maybe I can combine zigzag lines with our triangle, because zigzag lines totally remind me of triangles. Oh, and this pattern actually looks really cool. Okay, so just simple line and shape, line and shape. Just keep thinking of your lines and shapes. Okay. What can you do with a simple line and shape to make it look interesting? Okay, you want these designs to be small and detailed. So like if you're going to do a design, you want to make sure that you're copying it multiple times and repeating it. So let's say I'm thinking of a design right here. I'm just going to do a design that looks like a sun. Okay. I want to make it small and I want to fill it in multiple times in this area. Just doing something like quick is not really going to cut it. Like, okay, that's not filling in the whole shape. You know, it's filling in the whole shape. It doesn't look small and intricate and detailed. Now, if I were to go back into this little sun design and then add more detail, let me just fix this up. More details in each area, that would be okay. And there's not really a right or wrong way how to do a Zentangle. You just want a lot of marker and lots of detail in this actual desired space. Okay, that looks way cooler. Okay, so think of it. Small, intricate patterns that are repeating themselves multiple times. Okay, let me just finish this because that will just bother me if I don't finish it. I'm gonna do these little suns all over. And these Zentangles should go along with your personality. Okay, like if you really like geometric patterns, shapes, go with that. If you want to make yours look really like fun and cute and girly, like you might want to put lots of ones like hearts and flowers and stuff. Okay, little drawings are also fine with this. Okay. Oh, and I almost forgot about the letter one. You can turn letters into designs. Watch this. Capital T upside down. Repeat the pattern on. That's one way you can kind of show your personality. You can use your own letter of your name. Okay, so we've got, here, I'll finish this up. Yeah, to me, this just looks like a design that I would see printed on clothing or something. Definitely takes a little bit of thought. All right, look how cool that looks. All right, you guys can keep going. The possibilities are endless, and I challenge you to not copy me and to think of your own designs. Okay. Don't forget about the handouts. I'm going to talk a little bit about contrast for the third and fourth graders. So contrast designs are when you have really dark and really light. Okay, so these designs show lots of lights and darks, and these things are going to make your project look more interesting and stand out if you choose to kind of color some of those areas in. Okay, so let's go back to our paper that we just did. So if we want to show more contrast, so right now this is looking very cool. There's lots of lines on it, but if I want to add contrast to my design, I'm going to do something like what I did here. I'm going to make some of the shapes more bold, and I'm going to make some of the shapes more colored in. So I'm going to start with this one here. I'm going to color in some of the areas. Now I just changed the look of this completely just by doing a little bit of extra coloring. This is like a design within a design. Okay, the younger kids you guys might not have the focus or patience to do this, but this is where you're really going to get down to the nitty-gritty and make your designs look awesome. So I'm going to switch to my small pen. Okay, and I'm gonna keep going inside these lines. I'm gonna make more designs to show more contrast. Okay, so I'm just gonna add some straight lines. I just completely changed the whole look of this design just by keeping on adding. And that is what a Zentangle is all about. All right, now this one's a tricky one. What can I do to make this one even more detailed? I'm gonna add a little oval inside here. So welcome to Zentangling. You might find yourself doing this for a few hours because it's happened to me before. All right, and then I'm going to add a little triangle on the side here. More detail. All right, I'm going to challenge myself here again. And this pen's running out a little bit. I'm going to switch it. Okay, I'm going to add some little boxes around the plus signs. This is going to take a while, but this is the art of zentangling. So the zentangles can build. They build off one another. You have to have some patience for this, but a lot of us are not busy right now anyway. So challenge yourself to make something awesome. That looks cool. And now in the X's, I'm going to do some little circles. Or actually, triangles would have looked cool too, but either way, I'm still adding detail. All right, now I'm not going to do all of these because this video will be really super long. So I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to make another video about drawing silhouettes and shapes and then filling those in with Zentangles. All right, see you later.